right. Welcome back. Hi, Genesis. All right, here we are. Okay, we're going to do introductions. No, we're going to do Padlet, smiles, and frowns. So I want you guys to, think about something that's gone well for you this week, something that maybe hasn't gone well for you this week, just whatever you feel like sharing. And give me a second to post the link. And you guys can do that. Doesn't matter how prepared I am. I'm never quite prepared. So here is the Padlet, and I will put it on our screen in just one moment. All right, there you go. Have at it. Let me know how you're doing. All right, here is our Padlet today. I already have some stuff up from some other classes. This was me. I'm tired, so much to do, so little time, and I can't sleep. We have some stress, on-ramps pre-cal. Whoever's taking so many naps, I'm with you. We have 18 kills on Call of Duty. I'd like to give a shout out to that student, I guess. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I think we should all dance. I'm eternally freaking out, but I like dancing, so I'm going to do that. I feel like that's my daughter posting on that Padlet. Football is back. I'm happy to. We vibing today. You're mad. I'm sorry you're mad. When I'm mad, I exercise. Sometimes it helps. Oh, yeah. Yes. Can't have a normal senior year. Yeah, I feel that. I do. I am so sorry. That is definitely not what we want for you guys. Homecoming, prom. I know that your sponsors are working really hard on that, and I am praying that we have this fixed by prom. Whoever's getting really, really good sleep, what's your trick? Your TV won't let you watch movies and shows? That is frustrating. Wow. I feel you. Okay, well, thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for checking in. Sophia, yeah, if you can't make it to class, you can just do the attendance and then try and keep up with the work. Try and get the work done that day anyway. If there's an assignment in Google Classroom, do it. Okay, let's share this tab. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, anything we've gone over in class? It's been one day, I know, but if there's anything, you can put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Okay, awesome. If you have something later, just reach out and let me know. The pop shove. I have no idea what that means, but excellent. Okay, we are going to we're going to do Jamboard. I got this thing to work, so I'm super excited about it. So here we go. You need to download an extension onto your Chromebook if you have a Chromebook. So here's how you do that. Let's start with this, okay? If you have a laptop, stick with me. I've got some instructions for you too. Okay, there you go. You're going to go to this website, which is chrome.google.com/webstore. And here's what it looks like. And then you're going to type in Jamboard, okay? And it's going to pull up some extensions, and you'll pick the one you want, and you're going to add it. My computer doesn't have Jamboard, because mine's a computer, not a Chromebook. That extension only works for Chromebooks, okay? So again, you'll go to the link I just put in the chat. You'll type in Jamboard, Jamboard, and get that extension. If you have a laptop, yours is a little different. You are going to go to your Google Drive. Once you're in your Google Drive, you're going to click on the waffle, which is those 9 dots that make a square. And you'll scroll down and you'll see Jamboard. This is what it looks like in Google Drive. So let me show you guys how to do that. So here I am in my Google Drive. I'm going to come over to the top right side and I'll see those 9 dots, which we call a waffle. If I click that, it pulls up all of my Google apps. If I scroll down, here is Jamboard. So I will click that and it will take me right to Jamboard. Okay, so y'all let me know. Anybody having any trouble getting here? Okay. Once you're here, I'm going to put you guys up on a Jamboard and I'm going to let you play with it a little bit. Now, Jamboard only lets like 20 kids in at a time or less. It's usually like 16. So I have 2 different Jamboards set up for our class. The first class is, where did we go? Here you are. Okay, so I've got, if your last name begins with A through J, you're going to go to the first Jamboard. If your last name begins with K through W, you're going to go to the second Jamboard, okay? So just go ahead and hop on Jamboard and you will see that you can, well, you'll see the tool. So let me make sure I have it set to where you guys can be on it and move stuff around. I want you guys to be able to edit. And it's anyone with this link. Okay. All right, so I've got the permission set up for that one and my practice board K through W. Let's go here. Okay, so if you're in A through J, you should be able to get on there and play around a little bit. K through W, give me 1 second to make sure the permissions are set. Change. Anyone with this can edit. Okay, so here we are on the Jamboard. I am on the K through W one, but they're the same exact thing. And on the left side, I've got a menu. I've got a pen, which is actually a pen, a marker, a highlighter, and a paintbrush. And I can just come on here and write on the Jam. So you guys feel free to come play with this. Get on here and write and just learn how this works. I've got an eraser. I have a select tool, so I could, I've got a sticky note. That's what this square is. So I'm going to type Miss Ritchie. That's my name. And I'll save it. And here it is. And now I can click the select tool and I can move it around. I can add an image if I want. If I want to do a Google image search, I will add flowers. If I could type, that'd be better. Right, so here's a pretty flower picture. I will select that, and that is now also in my Jamboard. And I can move that around. I can rotate it. I can shrink the size of it. So I'd like you guys to get on here and play with it a little bit yourselves. Last name is fine. I'm just trying to keep it so all 22 of us or 24 of us aren't on the same one. It won't let that happen. So I needed to make 2. So come on. Let's see how you're doing. Okay. The chicken with the cigarette. This is what the other part of your class is doing. So I am going to edit your Jamboard here. Sorry, free speech and all, right? No. There you go. That's your teacher at work. But I'd like everybody, you took the picture away. Okay, so y'all just get on here, draw, play, figure out how this works, because I'm going to have you guys do an activity with Jamboard in a minute. But I want you guys to kind of play around and figure out how it works. Leave some sticky notes if you want. I might change the color. I'm going to be, y'all, I'm such a nerd. Jamboard is my jam. Here we go for everybody to see. Okay. Are you crossing that out? I would too. Hush, baby. Is anybody having any trouble? Okay, Jade, yours says view only. Let me make sure I've set the permissions so you can get on that. Okay, Jade, maybe refresh it because I've changed the permissions and see if that helps. And anybody else who's having that problem, if you refresh by clicking that circle up at the top. Alyssa, did you guys refresh? Is it letting you play on it yet or no? Okay, good. Okay. Okay, how are you feeling? You guys feel it's slow, but it's working? Yeah. I have quite, my computer just started going slow too. Okay, I love that meme. So whoever just posted that meme on K through W, the cat and the lady yelling. I didn't even know what that's from, but this is great. Yes, I'm glad you're here. Attendance person, attendance friend. Oh, we have a skater. Radical. That's awesome. Okay. Awesome. Okay, you guys, I'm hoping feel pretty comfortable with this. This is what we're going to use to do our next assignment. So let me introduce you to that next assignment. Let me show you what it is we're about to do. Okay. Okay, so we are going to work with some poetry. And the poem that I'm going to read to you guys, I think it's one you'll relate to. I picked it because most of y'all are seniors, right? And so this is a transition year for you as you transition from high school to college or life beyond high school. And I think that that's partly what this poem is talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first line of the poem to y'all. And then there are 3 more sentences in the poem. And I've got the words of those 3 sentences spread out on a Jamboard. And you guys are going to work together to put those words in whatever order you want, and see what you think the poem might say with those words. Okay. And then after a few minutes, I'll read the actual poem to you guys. But I just want you to play with the words a little bit. Now, it's going to be kind of hard because you can't talk to each other. If we were in a classroom, I would have you sitting in groups and I would have cut the words up into little, pieces of paper and have you move them around a table together. This is the closest thing I can come up with, but because you're not in a breakout room, you can't talk to the people you're with. So you'll have to find some way to communicate. Maybe write on a sticky note what you think, or type something on the Jamboard that you think is why you think the poem should go this way. Also, I've made several pages with the same words on them. So if you feel like there's too many people moving the words around on your page, just move forward through the Jamboard and go to another page and start working on that one. Okay. Because 20 people trying to move the words around at a time can be kind of hard. I'm thinking if we had like 3 or 4 people on each page, it would work better. So just kind of go through the pages until you see there's one with just a couple people on it and you can work on that one. I hope that's not too confusing. It's just something I want to try. I think that might be fun for you guys. So, all right, here's the poem. The snail at the edge of the road inches forward, a trim gray finger of a fellow in a pinstripe suit. Okay, so we've got that in mind. Let me drop in the links for our Jamboards, which of course I don't have. So hang on one second. I'm so sorry. Goodness gracious, Kelly Ritchie. Okay, A through J coming up. All right, copy link. Okay, A through J, here is your jam. And then K through W, here comes yours. I just need my link. Copy link, chat. Okay, so A through J, you're the top one. K through W, you're the bottom one. And at the top of the page, you can see that there's actually 5 sheets of paper. So I'm just going to press forward, and here I am at page 2, where I can start moving the words around with my select tool. All right. I recognize side has a period after it, so I might move it over here because I think it's the end of a sentence. And you can go to page 3, you can go to page 4, or you can go to page 5 if you'd rather work on that. It doesn't matter. You are in control of your Jamboard. So let's see. So I'm on page 2 with my K through W. I'm going to pick my select tool. I'm going to say every is capitalized. So that's probably a first word. I'll move it here. And that means I need to move his out of the way. So you guys start. I'm turning it. And what I really want to do is move it. So you guys feel free to hop on here and just start moving stuff around. All right, and you can work on whatever page you want. Somebody's already working on page 5, so help them out. And I'll give you guys a few minutes to kind of work through this, and then we'll talk about what the poem actually says and what it means. Isabella, I just gave the best answer to your question. I didn't even know if it was to me. Can you sing? But yeah, I just sang for y'all and I was muted. I'm just kidding. I didn't sing. I can sing, but not well. So I sing well in my car. That's about it. Okay, I gotta know who's doing this. This is so funny. I love it. All the he's and hims. That would be a really interesting poem. So I'm not sure who's doing that, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm maybe going to give you guys one more minute and then we're going to talk about the poem and what's up next. But I like what I'm seeing, every road, everywhere. I can definitely see that as part of a poem. So I like it. Okay, so let's look back at the poem itself. Thank you guys for doing that, working with the words. It's, I think it's fun to kind of play with them. So this is about a snail. It's a poem called The Crossing by Ruth Moose. That's also partly why I picked this poem. I love her name, Ruth Moose. How fun is that? Okay, here we go. The snail at the edge of the road inches forward, a trim gray finger of a fellow in a pinstripe suit. He is burdened by his house that has to follow where he goes. Every inch, he pulls together all he is, all he owns, all he was given. The road is wide, but he is called by something that knows him on the other side. So think for a second what that might mean for you guys. What's your burden? In our smiles and frowns, one of you talked about not being able to have your senior year. You know, no homecoming, no prom. That's a burden you guys are carrying that you didn't ask to carry, but it's on your back nonetheless. What else are burdens that you're carrying with you? And where are you going? What on the other side is calling you? Is it college? Is it, you know, an adventure? Maybe you are ready to move out of Fort Worth and move to New York City or someplace exciting. You know, what is calling you to the other side, Daniel? You know, that's the thing about literature, which we'll be studying this year. We write what we know. We write what we feel. It's how we survive. Okay, so in a little bit, I'm going to have you respond to one of these discussion questions in your interactive notebook. And at the end of class, if you're not sure how to work that, I'll walk you through it. In the meantime, you have one other assignment that's due on Sunday, and it's called 3 Significant Things. Now, we don't know each other very well yet, unless you're Alyssa and happen to be like Lizzie's best friend, right? So other than that, we're still getting to know each other. And I think it's important for you guys to know who it is that you're working with. Who's your teacher? Who are you going to be interacting with all year? And it's important for me to know who you are as well. So this assignment is called 3 Significant Things. And what you're going to do is you are going to pick 3 things that you think give insight into who you are as a person. And you're going to write about them, or you're going to make a video where you talk about them, or you're going to make a vision board where you use art in some way to express what these 3 things are. So I'm looking for insight. I'm looking for something more than I like people, I like music. I'm looking for some insight into why music is significant to you or why you like people. So I've done an example, okay? I wrote a letter to you guys. I'll spare you the beginning of it where I talk about what I just talked about. We don't know each other, but it's important for us to know each other. I'll say one of the things that inspired this assignment for me is I'm a very, I like to make connections with people, but not everybody is like that. And you might be the type of student who just wants a teacher to be a teacher and not always be up in your business. That's fine. That would be something to write about in here, to tell me that. That way I know I'm not always trying to pull you into conversation with me, because I know that's not how you operate, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. So let me read. I've got 3 significant things here. Let me read one of them to you guys. We'll start with one of them, and we'll see how much time we have. I don't know that I need to read all 3 to you, but I can. Okay, first, I really like people. I like to talk to people. I like to know their stories. I'm empathetic, which means I try to see the world from the perspective of others as much as one can, as much as such a thing as possible. I've always liked people. I like to talk, ask questions. My report card as a child, they were consistent. Talks too much in class, the teachers would write in the comments section. In another life, the one right before I started teaching, I was a newspaper reporter. I got paid to talk to people and ask questions, and ask a bunch of questions. It was perfect. I ask a lot of questions, not because I'm trying to get into your business, but because I'm genuinely curious about who you are and what you think. Knowing you is important to me. Once you are my student, you're always my student. That means you can reach out to me for help, even if you are hundreds of miles away at college, even if we haven't talked in a decade, even if you make a mistake. I understand that as humans, we all make mistakes, and I have made plenty. And I understand that we all need a little grace. I have a lot of grace to give. Grace should have been my middle name. It's actually Renee. Okay, so that's one of the things about me. The other 2, I'll let you guys read them if you want. One is that I'm Hispanic. If you don't believe it, that's okay. I didn't believe it either. I found out when I was in high school. And so that's the story of how I found out. And then the third one is about stars. I love astrophysics, like really. I read books about it all the time. And I just see a lot of hope for humanity in the heavens. So if you want to read those things about me, feel free. These are located for y'all in our classroom, okay? So if you go to our AP Lit and Composition Google Classroom and you go under classwork, you will see our first week of school activities, and there's something called 3 Significant Things. And in it, I have a copy of what I just read to you guys, and I have a vision board, which is how you can take those 3 significant things and turn it into art. So if you are more creative, this might be a good option for you. And so it talks a little bit on these Google slides about how to create a vision board. And then Miss Bond, who teaches English 2 here at Southwest, actually has a video that she made of her starting her own vision board. So you are welcome to look at that. And then for the interactive notebook entry, if you notice the 3 significant things, that's an assignment. Okay, so you're going to have to submit something in order for it to count. The interactive notebook, that's not an assignment. It has this like little bookmark here. And so that's just material. And so what I've done here is I've put the poetry response questions so you know what it is I expect you to do, but that's not something you're turning in for a grade right now, okay? I expect you to do it, but it's not something I'm going to grade. I'll get you to share your interactive notebook with me in a couple of weeks, and I'll look through everything you've done, if that makes sense. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so if you understand the assignment and are ready to go write about your 3 significant things, you can hop off and do that. You can, if you know how to work the interactive notebook and want to respond to the poetry thing, you can do that. If you need help downloading the interactive notebook, getting it to work, stay on, and I'm going to run through that process quickly, and then you guys are good to work, okay? All right. So for the interactive notebook, I'm going back to our Google Classroom, and I'm going to come down to Classroom Resources. And here is Class Templates. And here is the interactive notebook. This is where the master copy lives. So I'm going to open that. And I can't edit it. I have to make a copy. So the way I do that is I come to File, and I click Make a Copy, and I want to make a copy of the entire presentation. And so this notebook will be Ethan's. This is my son's AP notebook now. So I save it, and now I have my own copy of the notebook, all right? I just copied what was there in Google Classroom, and I can put my name here on the title page if I want, and I can say this is now Ethan's notebook. All right, now the way I get this to be interactive is I click Present, and when I'm in present mode, I tab forward 1 page, and now these tabs on the side are interactive. So we're going to write about poetry, so I'm going to come down here and click on the poetry tab, and it's automatically going to take me to the poetry section of my notebook. If I had a grammar note, I'd click grammar, but I don't. I have poetry, so I'm going to come back and click on the yellow tab, and here I am. I'm at poetry. So I'm going to press the escape key, ESC, and now I'm not in present mode anymore. I'm in like my build mode. I'm going to come and pick the text box, which is the T in the box, and I'm just going to make a text box on this page, and now I can respond. The burden that I carry this year is that I am teaching virtually at a new school. Right? And that's it. That's all I have to do. That's my entry. Okay, so how you doing? You guys have questions?